Zach Wilson. I still like Zach Wilson. But he had his first bad game of the season yesterday. And what I noticed about it was for the first time basically this year, he had a bunch of bodies around him in the pocket. And I'm not saying he played poorly. He just didn't put up video game numbers for the first time this year. He plays with bad receivers. They drop some passes. But you put some bodies around him, all of a sudden, he's not the second coming. He's human. And in the NFL, that's going to be every game, especially if he's a top 5 pick. It's going to be all the time. So I don't really know what to make of Zach Wilson. I like the idea of Zach Wilson. I'll answer some of your questions. I know I'm not taking your tips and stuff. I'm on a roll. I'm on a freaking roll, guys. Here's what I want to say. I like Zach Wilson. When people look at him, I think people look at like, oh my God, he could be Patrick Mahomes or a poor man's Patrick Mahomes or a dynamic playmaker. He's the kind of quarterback I want. He's the kind of quarterback I want in 2020. He fits the mold. He's athletic. He can make plays on his own. He can protect himself. He can scramble. I think you get into trouble when you're scouting quarterbacks, when you're looking at what type of quarterback you want. That's not really the issue. You're trying to get the best quarterback because not all of these guys are going to be good. And some of these guys have more question marks than others. Zach Wilson, I'm not saying I see deficiencies in his game. He hasn't played enough in pressure to really know. But I have questions. And his performance last night against Coastal Carolina or whatever didn't erase him. I still question what it's going to look like when he's got pressure all around him. All I know is every time he's making a throw, the pocket is huge. There's no one around him. Everyone's like, oh my God, look at this throw he makes off his, while running to the side unnecessarily and flipping it underneath. Like, that's cool. It looks great, but there's no one around him. There were some guys around him last night. It didn't look so great. Zach Wilson, I have questions. Trey Lance, I have questions. 1 year wonder. He's had one good season in college football. A lot of guys have had one good year in college. Doesn't make you a great player. He played one game this year, then quit. Or what? It didn't quit. Their season ended. One game this year, and it wasn't that good. He completed like 50% of his passes. Who is Trey Lance? Is he a project? I mean, he might be great, but there's a lot of questions there. Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, a lot of questions. And another thing about Zach Wilson, BYU averages 5 yards a carry, 5.2 yards a carry. Justin Fields, Ohio State averages 5.5 yards per carry. I don't care who the quarterback is on the team, whether he's a Heisman candidate, he's a top 5 potential pick, he's famous. If an offense is averaging more than 5 yards a carry, every defensive coordinator's number one thing that they're going to emphasize that week is, guys, we got to stop the run. I don't care who that quarterback is. If we don't stop the run this week, they're not going to need to throw. So when these quarterbacks play at these schools that can just dictate the game with their run game, things get a lot easier. The defense is playing the run first. How about let's start there? They play the run before they play the pass. The run wears them down. The play action pass is effective. It slows down the pass rush. It creates wide open throwing windows down the field because the linebackers bite. And so everyone knows it's easier to play quarterback on a team that averages 5.5 yards per carry than a team that averages 4 yards a carry. And that's elementary. We know that. Justin Fields, that's the thing about Ohio State quarterbacks. They go to a school that averages 5.5 yards per carry consistently. It's so easy to play quarterback there. BYU, yeah, his receivers aren't that great. His run game works. The defenses he's facing are terrible. They have to defend everything, not just the pass and the run. All right? So Zach Wilson, I love him. If the Niners get him, great. He went to one of the best possible spots. He's a project, I think. Not a project, but he's an enigma. He's an enigma with big-time talent. But on the physical scale, like, is he Russell Wilson? I don't think so. Does he have that? People like him because of his athleticism. How athletic is he? Is he Patrick Mahomes? No, he's not big like that. He's not Patrick Mahomes. So what is the comparison here for Zach Wilson? Is it Kyler Murray? Hell no. Russell Wilson? Hell no. I saw Eric Crocker today say Johnny Manziel athletically. That's kind of fair. Now, I think athletically, Zach Wilson's got a little bit more juice. I think he'll run a faster 40. I think he's got a better arm. I think Johnny Manziel threw a lot of kind of crap throws up for grabs and got bailed out by Mike Evans. Wasn't particularly accurate. I think Zach Wilson may have more of maybe a more pinpoint downfield thrower. But it's pretty close. He's not that much bigger than Johnny Manziel. He's not that much faster than Johnny Manziel. It's comparable. And I saw Johnny Manziel in person in Cleveland when he beat Blaine Gabbert in the 49ers. I was at that game. He didn't look that athletic. He looked like a guy who was hanging on to his career by a thread. I'm not saying Zach Wilson's going to go out like that, but maybe Johnny Manziel could have had a successful career if he hadn't have been the person he is. If he hadn't been so self-destructive and he'd been more. But I mean, what I saw is he was not a special athlete. He was a decent athlete. Is Zach Wilson a special athlete? Special plus? I mean, decent plus? Decent plus? I don't know. And I mean, it's great that he's not, he's would you want to take the Mormon Johnny Manziel? Is that something you like? Can I sell that to you? Mormon Johnny Manziel? I don't even know if Zach Wilson is Mormon. I'm assuming here. The Mormon Manziel. This kind of has a ring to it. The Mormon Manziel. But it kind of puts a damper in the whole situation when you put it that way.